To borrow words from my boy Shrek, melee is like an onion. Defense in melee is like if you peeled back a layer of that onion and found an entire f***ing iceberg in it.
Hello there.
That is to say, it's deep. So deep, in fact, it may be overwhelming to you as a new player. But defense is extremely important. If you can't defend well, you will die quickly, especially as the skill of your opponents increases. Let's break down our defensive options and talk about how to better utilize them as new players. For this video, we will talk all about shield. In the next, we will cover all different types of DI. Shield comes out frame 1, but takes 15 frames to drop, meaning dropping shield is slow and you really want to avoid raw dropping shield in a game. That's why the game gives us other options: spot dodge, roll, shield drop on platforms, and jump. Shields will also move your character slightly when attacked, based on the strength of the attack. As most of you have learned by now, melee doesn't have an input buffer system, meaning that if you try to dash during the lag of something else, you can get stuck in place. This tends to happen to me a lot when I'm panicking from getting chased down. I'll roll away, try to run, but because I input my dash too soon, the game only recognizes that my stick is pushed to the side, meaning I can only walk. This can actually be useful for buffering tilts or walk, but if you are trying to escape disadvantage, it can be a nightmare. Load up training mode and practice acting out of roll and spot dodge. Maybe you want to dash back, maybe escape to a platform and come down with an aerial. Getting used to acting as soon as possible after a defensive option will make it that much less likely to get stuck in your movement while attempting to escape your enemy.
Stop right there! If you like my videos, Falcon punch that subscribe button!
Now let's examine our other out of shield options. The ability to jump out of shield means that we can wave dash out of shield as well. If you wave dash and shield with the same bumper, you'll have to learn to do it with your other hand. You can practice this in the wave dash training mode in Uncle Punch to practice getting clean wave dashes out of shield. Reversal training in Uncle Punch will help you get the feel for when you can act after your shield has been hit. It will automatically show you how late you are acting out of shield and the frame advantage of the attack you have the bot set to use. Practice moving instantly out of shield stun. Find out if you can get a meaningful counter hit or if you need to run away. If you need to run away, practice wave dashing back, going to a platform, or going to ledge. If you don't know where to start, do your toughest or least known matchup and cycle through all the attacks on the menu. The reason we do this is because of the mental stack. If you have no idea when you are able to act or when your opponent can act, you won't have time to think about what to actually do. If you intuitively know these things without needing to think about them, you free up your mind to think about what to do next instead of what to do now. This concept can be applied in a ton of different ways in Melee. This is the primary reason you need to be able to control your character with a certain baseline level of competence before you can start to think about more complex strategies. Now we'll talk about light shielding and shield angling. Light shielding can be done by slightly holding in your trigger, or by pressing and holding the Z button. If you press Z by itself and hold, you will grab before the light shield comes up, but if you hold Z after any other action, you will just get a light shield. Light shield has 3 differences from a normal shield. 1, it will cover a larger area for a longer time. 2, it will take twice as much shield stun from attacks. And 3, it will slide much farther than a standard shield. You can still jump, spot dodge, roll, and grab out of light shield. How far you will slide depends on your character's traction, meaning that for slippery characters like Ice Climbers and Luigi, you can escape situations you couldn't with others. You can use light shield to slide off of the stage and grab ledge. To practice grabbing ledge with light shield, load up Training Lab on Uncle Punch and in the CPU menu, set the grounded counter action to forward smash. It's worth noting that this isn't very useful for Peach and Puff, as their high traction makes their shields not slide as far, and also their slow falling speed will make it easy to hit them as they fall. Once the CPU is set properly, go to a ledge, turn your back, and press down on the D-pad to teleport the bot to you. Press right to save your position and jab the bot, then put up your light shield. The bot will hit you and you will slide to ledge. From here you could practice a ledge stall, ledge dash, or whatever you want before you reset the scenario by pressing left on the D-pad. If you are knocked off of a platform while shielding, you will go into tumble, so try to avoid that if you can. The important thing here is to see what distance you will slide off from what attack. That way, once again, you will intuitively know and you can remove it from your mental stack. Finally, I will touch on shield angling. Shield angling becomes important as your shield is worn down by your opponent. For some characters, like Captain Falcon, shield angling is needed almost immediately for stopping weirdos from poking your toes. You can angle your shield by inputting a slight direction while shielding or buffering a direction during the action before shield comes up, just like we talked about in the shield drop video. There isn't really a great way to practice this on your own, you'll just need to develop a feel for when it's needed in your games. That will conclude this guide on the shield. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if I helped you out. The next guide will follow the defense theme and be on all different types of DI, so stay tuned.